Almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Good evening and welcome inside Mulcahy Field in Anchorage, Alaska. It's Scout Showcase Day, and the Miners taking on the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks yet again. And this is probably some pretty good practice, I would say, for the Miners. Of course, 2 games. Got back from Fairbanks at 3:33 in the morning, left at 8:33. Didn't get to sleep till about maybe 4:15. So it's been a long trip for the Miners, and I guess they're happy to be back in familiar territory. They took 1 of 2 against the Panners last night. That was a walk-off 3-run home run for Tanner Pinkston, and the Panners won 7-4. But really, we had talked about before the first game that both these teams are very, very good, and both these teams have a very legitimate shot of playing each other in the top of the World Series, and the Miners showed they can beat them. They can certainly beat the Panners. We saw it in Game 1, and of course Game 2, in a game that goes to extra innings, that's anybody's game. And I tend to think that the Scout Showcase, that presents a sort of a different atmosphere. There's not even live statistics for this one. It's more just it's an exhibition game. Everybody's going to get playing time, and even a lineup that we have never ever seen turned in by Ben Taylor and John Reed, lefty out of Azusa Pacific, gets the start in this afternoon's game against the Panners. It is just a 7-inning game. Just a 7-inning game, and it's a non-league game, so it will not count toward the conference standings, which will end up deciding who makes it to the top of the World Series. So this game pretty much doesn't count. It's just a way for these guys to show what their talent to the scouts, and there's a lot of talent. And I just briefly spoke about this very bizarre lineup. The Miners are the home team, 7-inning game, and even if the Miners are on top at the completion of 6.5, they will play a bottom of the 7th inning to get guys some more playing time. And now let's just run you through the Matsu Miners lineup for this afternoon's game, and get ready because it's a little different. Jordan Rogers leads it off at third base out of Tennessee. Terrence Connolly bats second at shortstop from UNC Wilmington. Matthew Decker bats third. He's a designated hitter out of Stanford. Hunter Simmons bats fourth at first base from Utah. Johnny Loker bats fifth in center field. Brandon Smith bats sixth in left field from Grand Canyon. Nick Blazer back in there. He bats seventh at second base from Cal State Northridge. Mitchell now behind the plate bats eighth from Texas A&M, and batting ninth in right field is Dane Wunderlich, the outfielder from Rice. So guys who don't play in this game will certainly get their time in tomorrow's game. That is against the Bucks. Again, that's a 7 o'clock start, 7-inning game. That one also will not count, same as tonight. But now, Emma, let's bring you in. A pretty good trip in Fairbanks. And when we got back, Ben Taylor had said on the bus, he said, hey, split the series, and good, I'm proud of you. That's a good team they faced. And something that I really look at is the starting pitching. The starting pitching of Ryan Hendricks in Game 1, John Farindelli in Game 2, was absolutely excellent. Farindelli gave up 3 runs, just 1 of them earned, and really they showed something that's really been a struggle for the Miners is the command. The command really has been off at times, a lot of walks, and the last 5 starts have really been good. 4 starts have been really good. Tyler Stubblefield, Sevi Romo, Ryan Hendricks, and John Farindelli, they have combined to give up just 7 walks in the last 30 innings that starting pitching has been on the mound, and that is an excellent number moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about how the Miners lead the ABL in walks, and that is not something you want to lead one of the best collegiate leads in the country with. And that was kind of troubling looking ahead, coming down to the end of the season, and the starters, the entire pitching staff leads in walks. But I think that it seems as if the starters have gotten it figured out and just in time for the top of the World Series, and also to show off to these scouts what they can do.
Well, the Oilers and the Chinooks played earlier. The Chinooks beat the Oilers, I believe it was 7-4, and There are about, I would say, maybe 20 or 25, maybe even 30 scouts that sit behind home plate and just watch this game and watch these guys play. And I think they're really going to be, I think they're going to like watching the Miners play. And during batting practice, there were a lot of home runs. And guys like Paul Panachone and Nick Blazer, the little guys, were hitting them out. And, of course, the big home run hitters like Cam Newell and even now, so I guess we could say Cameron Frost is in that mix, and Hunter Simmons and Josh Meyer and Matthew Decker. They were all really, really pounding the ball. And looks like I think we're going to see a couple home runs here tonight. And we saw, of course, one last night in Fairbanks. Tanner Pinkston hit a 3-run walk-off home run. Not really what the Miners wanted, but they're going to try to get some of their own today and show the scouts the little power that they got in the bats.
Yeah, and this is a nice little break. We have the 2 scout showcases today and tomorrow, and then the All-Star game coming up, and the Home Run Derby as well. And I think it's a nice little break before the last week of the season. Really, the games that really count coming down to the wire. The Miners lead the Pilots in their league by 4 games now after losing last night's game, and you said, Coach Taylor was saying, I really would have liked to head back to Palmer after last night's game up by 5 games, but still up by 4. That's pretty good, and it is. It's a pretty solid lead, but the Pilots, you just can't rule them out. They are very talented, and you never know what happens when you come down on the wire like this.
Well, it is really a tough stretch coming up. And, of course, the next league game is Monday against the Chinooks, and it's crunch time. It really is. They took 1 of 2 from the Panners, and that's really good. I said this, they needed at least 1 win coming back from that trip against the Panners, and then they took 2 from the Pilots. They've won 3 of their last 4. They're in good shape right now, but it doesn't stop. They got to keep on grinding, and that's something that they talk about all the time. There's never time to just take a break. Maybe this is a little bit of a time to calm down and just say, hey, you know what? We've worked our tails off all summer. We got a couple days, just relax and have fun playing the game. This is a time to have fun. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. And I think that's going to help them because it's really a job. It's a job when you're playing these games, these league games. And now it's a time just to show what you got and try to just do the best you can. And you know what? If you don't, it's not a deal breaker. These guys are still young. They've got bright futures. They're in this probably what is the second or third best summer collegiate league in the United States. And that's just so good for them. They're in a good place, and they're learning the best tools to succeed in the future. And we are almost ready to go. In and out, finishing up here. The Miners with the green tops. The Panners will wear red. And we've been told that start time is at 4:30. It's 4:24 right now. So I'm wondering maybe if there's going to be another delay. So we will step aside and update you on the status of the game as soon as we hear any information. But hang in there and stay with us. Should be a good one. Thank you.
With championships in 2004, 2007, 2009, and 2010, the Miners are looking to bring a title back to the Mat-Su Valley.
This is the longest championship drought in 10 seasons.
8 former Miners selected in the 2014 MLB draft, and head coach Ben Taylor is back for another season of baseball in the Valley.
Here we go. Mat-Su Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
2-0 pitch swung on, lifted to center field. Charging is Frost. Frost makes a diving catch. What a play by the center fielder.
Sent out to deep right, going back is James Navant at the wall. He will watch it go.
High fly ball down the third base side, going back for it. It's at the wall. Smith rounds first, heads to second, and it's in there standing for a leadoff double.
Here's the pitch. Swing, a high fly ball out to deep left. Back goes Adam Manzer. It's gone! A grand slam, and the Miners walk off with the win. Johnny Loker, welcome to the Valley.
And now, the voice of the Miners, Austin Pollock and Emma Tiedemann on the call right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Mulcahy Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And for today's Scout Showcase, Johnny Reed on the mound for the Miners, throwing to Mitchell now out of Texas A&M University. First up for the Panners, Brandon Caruso, the left fielder. First pitch by Johnny Reed is tipped back into the glove of Mitchell now, strike one. Caruso has 8 RBIs, 5 doubles, and 3 triples on the season, hitting .299. Last night reached base once on an error. A 1 pitch is lifted into deep right field. Charging is Wunderlich, makes the catch, and that's the first out. And in the outfield for the Miners, Brandon Smith in left field, Johnny Loker in center, Dane Wunderlich in right. And in the infield, it's Jordan Rogers at third, Terrence Conley at short, Blazer at second, Simmons at first, Mitchell now behind the plate, and Reed on the mound. Brings up Scott Hurst. First pitch is call the ball.
Reed 0-1 with a 12.10 ERA. He has a start, though. That came on July 1st against the Pilots. Pitched really well.
1-0 pitch is fouled back.
Yeah, Reed went 4 2/3, gave up 2 hits, just 1 earned run, walked 3 and struck out 9, but did get the loss. The Miners lost 1-0. Only time they've been shut out this summer.
1-1 pitch to Hurst. Little inside, ball 1. Reed has pitched 9 2/3 innings, given up 14 hits, 13 runs, all of those earned. Walked 7, struck out 14. 2-1 pitch is lined into shallow center, but Blazer makes the catch, running across into center field from the second base position, and it's quickly 2 away.
Yeah, good to see Blazer back in the lineup and at second base. A little bit of a rolled ankle, but all good. He said he felt great today, so good to see him back in there.
And that brings up Cody Nolf, the shortstop. First pitch by Reed, the lefty, and they're called strike 1. Nolf, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 1 triple. 0-1 pitch is foul tipped in the glove of now with an 0-2 count.
Cody Nolf out of Orange Coast College, went to Pepperdine his freshman year and hit 165 in 36 games.
0-2 pitch is high and away, ball 1.
But hit .414 with a home run, 31 RBIs for Orange Coast, and will transfer to Auburn for next year.
1-2 pitch by Reed is outside, gets away from now, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The plan is to get everybody playing time in this game. Just a 7-inning game, and it's non-league, so it will not count. So just trying to get everybody playing time.
2-2 pitch to Nolf. Swung on and lifted deep into right. Wunderlich takes a couple steps in, under it, makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on as we head to the bottom of the first. You're listening to the Mat-Su Miners Radio Network. Leading off for the Miners, Jordan Rogers out of the University of Tennessee. Rogers at third base with 12 RBIs, 5 doubles, no triples, hitting .269. On the mound for the Panners, Joel Beck has a 3.0 average or 3.0 record, 34 and 2/3 innings pitched, has given up 33 hits, 20 runs, 12 walks. First pitch is low, 12 walks and 42 strikeouts. Started 6 games. This is his 7th start. An ERA of 5.19. Rogers hits one into foul territory down the third base line. Charging is third baseman, and is actually caught by the shortstop over the fence, Cody Nolf. And what a grab. He caught that over the fence. That foul ball territory.
Yeah, I thought that was going to get out of play. The wind is really, really pushing to the left side. And Nolf is very athletic. We've seen him at shortstop, and we've also seen him round the bases and run the bases and just field. I mean, he's a very athletic player.
That brings up Terrence Conley, the shortstop tonight. This afternoon, I guess?
It is 4:47.
Evening? I don't know.
Late afternoon.
Conley has 8 RBIs and 3 doubles. First pitch by Belk is in there, called strike. Conley with the open stance. 0-1 pitch, a little low, ball 1.
Beautiful weather here in Anchorage. The sun shining, no clouds above the playing field. At least not many.
1-1 pitch to Conley is on the outside part of the plate, called strike 2.
Are you hanging in there? Are you tired or?
No, I'm good.
I'm all right. Slept like a baby for the 4 hours I slept.
1-2 pitch to Conley, swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Joel Beck in this game. That brings up Matthew Decker, designated hitter with 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, 4 doubles, no triples. Takes a deep breath and steps into the batter's box. First pitch to Decker is inside, called strike 1. Outfield for the Panners playing straight away along with the infield. 0-1 pitch by Belk. Right over the plate, but a little low, ball 1.
Decker riding a 5-game hit streak where he's 6 for 20. But even if he hits here, it will not count toward that since it is a non-league game.
1-1 foul back. Non-league game, 7 innings, no matter what, 7 complete innings. Just for the players to show off what they got for these scouts. 1-2 pitch to Decker's in the turf, ball 2.
It's also very toasty in here.
See, I'm a little chilly. I have my jacket on. It's the wind is cold.
You're cold? I'm also wearing black.
Yeah. I've told you about the dark colors and the sun shining in.
I don't believe in it.
2-2 pitch to Decker is swung on and ground ball back to the pitcher Belk. Fields it himself, flips to the first baseman Pinkston for the 1-3 putout. And that's 3 up, 3 down for the Panners. No runs on no hit, no errors, and nobody left on as we head to the top of the second. Scoreless through 1, you're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Vaughn Bazoian leading off for the Panners here in the top of the second. John still on the mound for the Miners here. Second inning, Vaughn Bazoian, the designated hitter. Bazoian out of Concordia University, Irvine. sophomore there. Bats right, throws right. First pitch to Bazillion is swung back to Reed off his bare hand. Scooped up by Blazer, throw to first. He's out. So Reed tried to, I guess, catch it with his bare hand, but it went off his fingers. And Blazer, the second baseman, doing a great job of backing him up, scooped up the ball and threw it to first himself.
Yeah, that's a 1-4-3. We've seen that quite a bit, actually. I think there was one from Hendricks the other night.
That brings up Tanner Pinkston. Pinkston bats left, throws right. Sophomore out of Cal State Fullerton. Pinkston with 3 home runs, 25 RBIs, 6 doubles, and 1 triple. 1-0 pitch by Reed. Little low and outside, ball 2.
Pinkston hit a walk-off 3-run home run last night over the left center field chain link fence. Panthers won 7-4 in the bottom of the 10th.
2-0 ground ball up center field. Diving is Blazer, throw to first in time. And Nick Blazer with 2 great plays in a row. That's 2 away.
Well, there you go. Good to see Blazer back at second base and shows how athletic he is. He has great range. He's a little guy, 5'8", with a lot of speed. So that speed gives him great range, and he doesn't have very long arms, but you know it's good when you have an infielder with range who can grab balls like that.
Brings up the redshirt junior out of Indiana State, Jacob Hayes, the right fielder. First pitch by Reed is right over the plate, called strike 1. Hayes with 6 home runs, 32 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 3 triples, hitting .368. 0-1 pitch. Catches that outside part of the plate, called strike 2.
Hayes was 2 for 3 with a home run in yesterday's game. Had an 11-game hit streak entering Wednesday's game, and that was snapped.
0-2, swing and a miss, but got a little piece of it for a foul tip. Stays live with the 0-2 count. Hayes, the left-handed batter. Lefty versus lefty between Reed and Hayes. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted into center field. Loker takes just half a step to his right and makes the catch. And it's another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Mat-Su Miners. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. As we head to the bottom of the second, you're listening to the Mat-Su Miners Radio Network. Scoreless through 1.5 here in the bottom of the second inning. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock, and due up for the Miners, Hunter Simmons, Johnny Loker, Brandon Smith. Simmons at first base this evening, 9 RBIs, 1 double. First pitch by Joel Beck, right over the plate, called strike 1.
Simmons really hit the ball well during batting practice. Big guy with a lot of power. We just haven't really seen it yet in the games.
0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Going for the fences right there. He's really tried pretty much everything to get the bat going, and at times we've seen the bat hot. And he's sort of shifted that batting stance with that open stance with the left foot back a little bit more.
0-2 is in the turf, ball 1. Simmons hitting .233, steps back into the batter's box, puts his back foot on that back line of the box. The open stance. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Belk. Blown away, ball 2.
Joel Belk, a college teammate of John Reed out of Azusa Pacific. Belk's from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Winds up for the 2-2 pitch. Delivers, ground ball back to the pitcher. Fields it, flips to the first baseman Pinkston. It's a 1-3 put out.
Last pitched on July 12th. That was the win for the Panners. 26-7 over the Pilots. Got the win. 6 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and very rarely do you give up 6 earned runs and 10 hits and get the win.
That was quite a game. Now at the plate, Johnny Loker. First pitch. Beautiful pitch right over the middle of the plate. Strike 1. Loker checks in with a .328 average. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 4 doubles. 0-1. Little low, ball 1.
Johnny last played on Wednesday was 0 for 5 against the Panners.
The 1-1 pitch by Belk. Outside part of the plate, called strike 2. Outfield shifted a little bit to the right. 1-2. And got him looking. That's the second strikeout for Joel Beck, and that brings up Brandon Smith. Smith, the left fielder out of Grand Canyon University. The right-handed batter. Both Belk and Reed have looked very strong through 2 innings so far. First pitch to Smith is blown away, ball 1.
Yeah, well, the good thing about this Scout Showcase is even if a pitcher is pitching well, you get to see everybody. Everyone gets to sort of show off what they get.
1-0, inside, ball 2. The 2-0 pitch by Belk is swung on ground ball into right field, and that's a base hit for Brandon Smith.
Good to see Brandon hit the opposite way. Usually see him as a pull hitter or even up the middle, but I think maybe only 2 or 3 times we've seen him go opposite field.
And that brings up Nick Blazer, the second baseman, who's just had a great game so far in the field. He's had 2 great plays, preventing base runners. Belk sets. First pitch to Blazer. Fastball over the plate, called strike 1. Blazer out of Cal State Northridge. Batting .303, 10 RBIs, 3 doubles. 0-1 back to the pitcher. Belk fields it, flips to first baseman Pinkston, and it's another 1-3 putout to end the inning. Miners with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on as we head to the top of the 3rd. We're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
New pitcher on for the Miners. It's the righty out of Northwestern State, Josh Morris, 1-0 with a 5.31 ERA. He's pitched in 10 games. Struck out 12 and 20 in a third innings. Walked 20 and get up 21 hits. Last pitched on the 12th against the Chinooks. Here's Mike Whelan, the catcher. First pitch is low with a fastball, ball 1. Against the Chinooks, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, or both earned 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. 1-0 to Whelan, swing and a miss with a breaking ball, 1-1.
Morris was our pregame profile 2 days ago. I'm going to check that out.
Whelan last played on Wednesday, 0 for 2 against the Miners. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, a little outside. 2-1. Whelan checks in at .328, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. 2-1. Swing and a miss again, off speed, 2-2. Whelan 4 for his last 10 with a double and a home run. Bats from the left side. A little bit of an open stance. Here's the 2-2 from Morris. Slapped foul left side. Miners in the third base dugout and the Panners in the first base dugout. Both these teams have to be very tired. The Panners, from what I understand, came to Anchorage, which is still 45 minutes south of Palmer. 2-2. Off speed, that is upstairs, or ball 3, 3-2. The Miners got in at around 3:30 in the morning. So you have to imagine that maybe the Panners got in to Anchorage at maybe around closer to 4. 3-2. Blooper into left. Coming in is Brandon Smith. Makes the catch with the sunglasses on his cap, and now there's one away.
It is very sunny. Just a beautiful day here in Alaska.
Probably one of the nicer days we've seen. We've seen a lot of games with just overcast skies. This is pretty
And
good.
rain.
Rain, yeah. Here's Tyler Mildenberg, the second baseman. 267, a home run, 9 RBIs. First pitch from Morris. Fastball. Gets the outer half for a called strike, 0-1. John Reed was excellent in his 2 innings. 0-1. Fastball outside, 1-1. Retired all 6 batters he faced. Didn't walk anybody. Didn't give up any hits. Didn't strike anybody out. 1-1. Half swing, but it goes around. 1-2 on Mildenberg. 1 for his last 10 and was 0 for 2 on Wednesday against the Miners. 1-2 from Morris. Fastball outside, 2-2.
Mildenberg, a freshman out of Oregon State University. Bats left, throws right. Hometown is Huntington Beach, California.
2-2. Fastball low and away, 3-2. Up next is Ryan Clark, the third baseman out of UC Santa Barbara, college teammate of Cam Newell. Got to meet Cam's dad before the game. It's always good to meet the parents. 3-2 from Morris. Slap foul behind the Miners' third base dugout. Still 3-2 with 1 away, and the base is empty.
There aren't very many parents still here, though, I don't think.
And season's winding down. 3-2 from Morris. Foul straight back behind us, and we'll keep going. 3-2.
Mildenberg working a very good at bat here.
Outfield is straight away. Center fielder Loker. It's about midway in the outfield. Not too shallow, not too deep. 3-2 coming from Morris. Slap foul again, left side out of play. Morris has a win on the summer. That was June 23rd against the Oceanside Waves. He started that game. 3-2. Left side and foul again. And if that foul ball did damage to your car, visit our friends at the locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Sun shining bright in Anchorage. Here comes the 3-2 from Morris. Outside fastball, ball 4. Good at bat for Mildenberg, and now Ryan Clark coming to the plate. Clark, the third baseman out of UC Santa Barbara. Clark was 1 for 4 yesterday against the Miners, hitting .352. No homers and 7 RBIs. So on a 6-game hitting streak. Mildenberg with 4 steals on the summer. He's at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and away, 1-0. Loker a little bit more shallow, but the right fielder Wonderlich pretty deep and right. Runner first is off. Here's the pitch. Up and in. Throw from Mitchell now. The catch, and that is a stolen base for Tyler Mildenberg. Does not count toward his statistics as this is a non-league game. Would have been his 5th, but again, non-league game. 2-0 the count on Clark. Pitch was a fastball up and in. 2-0 for Morris. Up and in again. Fastball 3-0. That was a pretty good throw. Maybe a little late from Mitchell now, but Blazer may have had, the pitch was a little low, and I think it scooped and sort of hit him in the chest. 3-0 is a fastball inside, and that is back-to-back walks given up by Josh Morris. And now 2-on with 1 out for Brandon Caruso. Caruso flew out to the right fielder Wonderlich in the first. Was 0 for 5 yesterday. Bats from the right side. Batting helmet half black, half red. Pitch from Morris. Fastball up and in, ball 1. Mitchell now about halfway between the plate and the mound, giving signs to Morris and the rest of the infield. Mask on top of the helmet on his head, and it's 1-0 on Caruso. Morris sets. Runners off, 1-0. Now throws to third, catch by Rogers, and the tag, he's out. Big out right there for the Miners. They gun down that lead runner. Now there's 2 down.
Good play by Now and Rogers doing a good job of holding on to that ball because Mildenberg did slide into him.
2-0, the count on Caruso, runner at second. Here's the pitch from Morris. Fastball up and in, ball 3. So Clark swipes second. That would have been his 4th stolen base. Morris sets. Here's a 3-0 to Caruso. Fastball upstairs, and that is the 3rd straight walk given up by Morris. Mitchell now heading out to the mound. Hunter Simmons making his way in from first base. Runners at first and second. Clark at second, Caruso on first, and here is Scott Hurst. No score in the bottom of the in the top of the 3rd. No hits for the Panners. 1 for the Miners. Single for Brandon Smith to right field. That was in the top of the 2nd. Bottom of the 2nd. Getting all screwed up because we're not at home. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Gets the outer half for a called strike, 0-1.
It is kind of weird playing at Mulcahy and playing the Panners for only 7 innings.
It's very weird. It's very confusing. 0-1. Fastball up and away, 1-1. Want to apologize for last night. If any of you were listening, we had some audio, not some, we had audio and video difficulties. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, low and in, ball 2, 2-1. And we had to end our broadcast, I believe, in the 6th inning. End of the 5th?
I think so, yeah, around there.
End of the 5th, yeah. So we really apologize for that. Poor Wi-Fi up in Fairbanks. 2-1, fastball outside, 3-1. Wi-Fi's been pretty good to us here and certainly at Herman Brothers Field. And I know that for the 2.5 weeks before the players got here, there were a lot of Wi-Fi issues. 3-1. Swing and a chopper right side to Blazer, scoops it up, and sidearm throw to first for out number 3. And it's no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We are through 2.5. No score on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Panners. It's the right-hander out of Nebraska, Omaha, Andrew Bueller. 6'5", 230 pounds. First pitch to Mitchell now is a slider in there called strike. Mitchell batting 8th. Against the righty Bueller, sort of a sidearm delivery. 0-1, fastball inside, 1-1. Not quite like Ryan Oglesby. Ryan's is more funky and herky-jerky and all over the place. 1-1, ground ball up the middle, diving is Nolf, and it's past his dive into left center, a base hit. Mitchell had pretty good day yesterday. Continues that here. He was 2 for 5. So now 3 for his last 6. And here is Dean Wunderlich. He had a little bit of a rough day, 0 for 4. Struck out with the go-ahead man in scoring position. First pitch swing, high fly ball to left. Coming is Caruso toward the line and makes the catch for out number 1. Wunderlich struck out looking with 2 outs and the go-ahead runner at third base. In the top of the 10th. That's the top of the order for Jordan Rogers. Popped out to the shortstop Cody Nuff, who made an excellent play against the fence on the third base side. Mitchell now on first. He's off. Here's the pitch, the throw down. Mitchell slides head first. The tag. He's out. Well, Mitchell really doesn't like the call, and I think he may have gotten his hand in there.
I think so too. He was already sliding before Mildenberg caught it.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't like the call. He stole a base yesterday. 1-0. Slider in there, called strike. 1-1 on Rogers. Rogers out of the University of Tennessee. He's played well in conference. 1-1. Chopper left side and foul. Over by Sean Winston coaching third today. And Paul Panaccione is coaching first.
Rogers yesterday was our player of the game. He had 2 singles, scored a run, and had a stolen base as well. Reached base 4 out of the 5 times he was at the plate.
1-2. Off speed, low, 2-2. Rogers, like I said, has played well in conference. He's got a little bit of speed. He's got a pretty decent bat, and he's a pretty good defender, and I actually think he may get a spot in the All-Star game. Ground ball foul left side. It's still 2-2.
I think Rogers has a great glove at third base. He's still, like most of these guys, he's still young. I think he can develop into a really talented player. And he is already talented. I think that he can go a long way.
Yeah, the scouts are going to get a good look at him here. In the field and with the bat. 2-2. Slider line to short. Took on a hop by the shortstop. No, fires a strike to first for out number 3. It is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We are through 3 full, no score on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. No score. We start the 4th inning here in Anchorage. I'm Austin Pollack with Emma Tiedemann to my right. 3, 4, and 5. Cody Nolf, Vaughn Bazoian, and Tanner Pinkston against the righty Josh Morris out of Northwestern State. Morris looks into the catcher now for the sign. He kicks and fires. Fastball. Little inside for ball 1 to Cody Nolf. Null flew out to right in the first inning. 1-0 pitch from Morris. Fastball inside, 2-0. Cody Nulf out of Orange Coast College. Morris kicks. Here's the 2-0. Fastball inside and a little low, 3-0. Nulf snapped a 19-game hitting streak on Wednesday. Ryan Hendricks really just seemed to know exactly what to throw to him.
Hendricks did an outstanding job.
3-0. Fastball gets the inside half for a called strike, 3-1. Cody was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs in last night's game. Little waggle of the bat, 3-1. Line to left and foul.
Pitch was high and inside and no swing at it, and it was just about at the handle of the bat.
He has a really quick bat. I noticed that yesterday. Of course, when we were pulled off the air because of the Wi-Fi, we got to go down to the field, or not to the field, but just along the fence. Got a better look at that swing. Swings the bat really hard. 3-2. Up and in, that's ball 4. Fourth walk given up by Josh Morris. That brings up Von Bozoian. Grounded out 1-4-3. That was John Reed, Nick Blazer to Hunter Simmons in the second inning. Morris looks into the catcher now for the sign. He has it. Here's the pitch. Fastball, little upstairs. Letter high, 1-0. Bozoian out of Concordia University, Irvine, just finished his sophomore year. He's 6'5". Runner first is off. Pitch is high. Throw down from now. Catch, tag. Got him. Second time that Mitchell now has thrown a runner out. And now there's one down in the top of the fourth.
That was just a great throw. It was a little different than the last throwdown that Mitchell now did. His first throw was to the left of second base, and this one was to the right.
2-0 pitch, fastball, up and in. 3-0. Morris has already walked 4. 3 in the third. 1 here in the fourth. He sets, kicks, 3-0. Swing and a big cut by Bozoian, and that's strike 1.
That was a gigantic swing. That took Bozoian. He swung, and just his whole body followed.
Wow. He's going for the fences, going for that the football field. 3-1. Popped up on the infield. Rogers calls for it. Just to our left of the mound and makes the catch. 2 away.
I hope he knows that his sunglasses fell off his hat in the infield.
He does.
All right, good. They all have their Oakleys, right? Those are not cheap.
I know Cameron Frost uses Oakleys, and I know Terrence Connolly does. Here is Tanner Pinkston, grounded out to the second baseman Blazer in the second inning. First pitch from Morris. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Pinkston out of Cal State Fullerton. Something I've noticed, of course, a year on the Cape last summer, that Cal State Fullerton has a lot of big players. 1-0, liner foul left side. They had a player, J.D. Davis, who I believe finished second in the Cape League Home Run Derby last year. And he was pretty big. I think he was about 6'5". 1-0 pitch is a fastball outside. 2-0 on Pinkston. 2-0 pitch. Fastball up and away. 3-0. The Miners have height. Hunter Simmons and Matthew Decker, they're pretty tall.
Josh Morris.
John
Had
Blair. 3-0. Fastball. Fly ball to right. Wunderlich went back. Now comes in and makes the catch for out. Number 3 ends up being a 1-2-3 inning for the righty Morris. Still no scores. We head to the bottom of the fourth on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Still a scoreless game in the bottom of the fourth here at Mulcahy Field in Anchorage between the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks and the Matsu Miners. 2, 3, and 4, Terrence Connolly, Matthew Decker, and Hunter Simmons against the righty Andrew Bueller. First pitch, off speed, low and in, 4-1 to Connolly. He struck out against Joel Belk in the first inning. 1-0. High fly ball to right end. That'll fall for a base hit. Third hit for the Miners with nobody out now. And here is Matthew Decker, who is really just hammering rockets over that left field wall in batting practice.
Yeah, they were high and deep. Very impressive.
He has a, I think he is. Does he have a home run here? I think he does.
I want to say, yeah. Over the right field fence?
That was at home. First pitch swing, chopper left side, scooped by the third baseman. Clark looks at second, throws to first. But Connolly up to second base. And Decker retired 5-3. Now 1 out for Hunter Simmons. He did hit a home run here. It was
over
just
the left field fence.
Left field fence.
Yeah.
Right field was
Herman Brothers.
I think against the Seals at Herman Brothers. Here's Hunter Simmons. 0 for 1 with a ground out to the pitcher Belk in the second inning. First pitch, slider in there, called strike. Connolly at second base. Still no score in the bottom of the fourth. He is the go-ahead run. 0-1. Chopper, left side, charging his Nulf. Scoops it, throws to first, 2 away.
Looked like Noel thought about flipping it to the second baseman, Mildenberg, but Mildenberg wasn't covering the base, and Conley was kind of off of it a little bit, but threw to first instead.
So Connolly still at second. Here's Johnny Loker, struck out looking in the second inning. Johnny with his right foot on the back line of the right-hander's batter's box. First pitch, slider outside, ball 1. Outfield is straight away. Left fielder Caruso maybe a few steps more toward left center. Bueller sets. 1-0. Line to left, and that's down for a base hit. Here comes Connolly. He scores. It's in the corner. Loker rounds first, heads to second. It's an RBI double for Johnny Loker. The Miners take the lead. It's 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Just a great hit ball by Loker. It literally bounced on that third base foul line, and with that RBI double, Conley, those leadoff batters getting on base, that's dangerous, and now that just cost the Panthers a run.
You know, and before that pitch, I wanted to, but really didn't have enough time to say it, that with the left fielder Caruso playing more in left center, which he still is, if Loker put one down that line, that was going to be dangerous, and it was going to score a run. First pitch to Smith is a slider low and inside and gets away from Wheeland. Johnny Loker is still on second, though. This little rally coming with 2 outs.
The rallies always seem to come with 2 outs or 2 strikes.
1-0 on Brandon Smith out of Grand Canyon. Slider swing and a miss, 1-1. Brandon singled in the second. He singled to right. He's going to score another run just with Caruso playing basically in left center. 1-1. Slider. Called strike. Outside half. Maybe not so much in left center, but definitely closer to left center than closer to that line. Either way, if a ball's hit in that direction, that's extra bases. 1-2. Breaking ball inside and low. 2-2 on Smith.
And the dimensions of Mulcahy Field versus Rowden Memorial Park the past 2 days. It's 325 down the lines here at Mulcahy and 410 dead center.
2-2. Inside, fastball 3-2.
So the walk-off home run by Pinkston last night, that would have been in play here at Mulcahy.
That would have been a flyout. Wonderlic almost had that.
He did.
That was probably hit 291 feet. 3-2. Smith fouls it off himself. Still 3-2.
And it's very deceiving. Even at batting practice, I wasn't sure half the time if it hit the fence or if it went over the fence and then got caught. It was, I don't know, it's weird optical illusion kind of thing because the fence is about 10 feet in front of that blue wall.
3-2, 2 outs, runner at second base. Bueller sets, here's his pitch. Fastball inside, and that is ball 4. Now 2 on for Nick Blazer. Infielder out of Cal State Northridge. Grounded back to the pitcher, Belk in the second. 2 away, no runs, no hits, no errors for the Panners. First pitch swing, chopped foul, third base side, 0-1 on Blazer. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Miners. You know, I mean, you had said during the break, do you think they're tired? And I don't know. I don't think so. These are just 2 very good teams, and they've seen good pitching. 0-1. Off speed inside, 1-1.
I don't know if they're tired. I don't know. They are very, very talented teams, both of them. But I don't know, maybe expecting a little bit more. I don't know.
We're expecting like a hit attack, 1-1 pitch. Off speed. Hard ground ball left side. Nolf scoops it and dug out by Pinkston in time. And there you see it. Athletic play by Cody Nolf, the shortstop. Had to range to his left to make the play close to the second base bag and almost in the outfield. But he throws out Blazer 4-3, and it's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. Miners lead at 1-0 through 4 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Afternoon done for... There you go, Emma. I did it again. Your turn.
did.
Your turn.
Josh Grissom on the mound for the Miners here in the top of the 5th. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. Tries to steal my innings.
I know. You know what? I don't know why I do that.
It's all right. We gotta. At least you didn't, just take off. You realized it.
I realized it after like 3 words.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Because I didn't
You
even
didn't
look.
do anything.
No, I was gonna let you roll with it, see how far I would get before you realized it. First 2 pitches by Grissom, a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes to Jacob Hayes, the right fielder. Pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1.
Been a long time since Morris has pitched. Grissom, June 23rd against the Oceanside Waves. Pitched an inning.
2-1 count to Hayes. Pitch, low and away, ball 3. Josh Morris finished with 2 innings pitched. No hits, no strikeouts, no runs, but 4 walks. 3-1 count, fouled back. Now full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jacob Hayes. Hayes, a redshirt junior out of Indiana State. out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Is that what we figured it was?
Terre Haute.
3-2 pitch is blown away for ball 4 and a leadoff walk here in the top of the 5th.
I think it's Terry Haute.
Terre Haute?
Yeah, Terry Haute.
That brings up Mike Wieland, the catcher, senior out of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. 6'1", 195. Grissom with a check on first. Sets. First pitch to the lefty is a little inside, ball 1. The Miners lead 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. Terrence Conley scored off an RBI single by Jordan Rogers. 1 ball, no strikes, and nobody away. Here's a pitch by Grissom, right over the plate, called strike 1.
Grissom out of Blue Mountain Community College. Brad Baker's his coach.
1 ball, 1 strike to Wieland. Pitch, capture that outside part of the plate, strike 2.
It's those off-speed pitches that are really located very well for Grissom, just on that outside half. I don't think Wieland's liking the calls either.
No, he didn't like that last one, that's for sure. Has his foot on that back part of the batter's box. Slightly open stance, swung on, ground ball to the third baseman Rogers. Fields it, throw to first. And the runner still's going at third, gets behind Rogers. No, Rogers was able to save it. So Hayes moves to third on the throw. And Wieland is out 6-3.
There's aggressive base running right there by Jacob Hayes. And Rogers looked to second, but the thing is that Hayes was off with the pitch, so he really had that advantage, and there's just no time to get him. And when you see that he makes that throw, he's like, oh, gonna try to sneak one by him. Go another 90 feet.
So now the tying run is just 90 feet away, and Jacob Hayes and Tyler Mildenberg at the plate was walked in the 3rd inning. Left on base, first pitch by Grissom a little low for ball 1.
Mildenberg stole second, but then was caught trying to steal third. Good throws from Mitchell now.
Mildenberg, the lefty, open stance, swung on, lifted, foul down the third base side. Mildenberg has 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 1 double, 1 triple on the season, hitting .267. Grissom with the sign from now. Sets. 1-1 pitch is lifted into shallow center field. Charging is Loker. Makes the catch. Hayes tags up at third. Here's the throw in. And he's safe. The Panners and Miners tied up at 1 run apiece here in the top of the 5th.
I don't know. Well, it's like a pretty good throw and a pretty good tag. Probably could have gone either way.
Yeah. I think he might have got his foot there first.
I don't think Mitchell liked the call.
No. And that's now 2 big calls that Mitchell probably isn't happy about. First pitch swing by Clark, and it's lifted into right. Wunderlich makes the catch, and that is out number 3. But 1 run scores on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Mitchell now leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Bueller still on the mound for the Panners. First pitch is very inside, ball 1 to the Texas A&M Aggie. Mitchell now had a single in the 3rd inning, but then was caught stealing second. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and high foul ball. Foul down the third base side.
The Chinooks have tweeted the Miners participants in the home run derby.
Oh.
And we'll share that after this.
1-1 pitch. Swung on ground ball to the shortstop. Nolf scoops it up, throw to first. In time, 1 away.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Matthew Decker.
Oh, I like that.
Can you guess the other two? You're going to get them. I know you are.
Well, the players...
Cam Newell.
Okay.
And hint.
Johnny Loker?
No.
Sevy Romo?
No. Cameron Frost.
All right, that makes sense. Wonderlick swung on and lifted into center field. Caught by center fielder Hurst, out number 2.
So here is how it lines up for the National League. For the Chinooks, Jackson Kramer and Steven Pollux. For the Miners, Cameron Frost, Cam Newell, Matthew Decker. And for the Pilots, Clayton Taylor, Nico Sainz, Trevor Podratz.
That's a good lineup. I like Matthew Decker in there.
So do I.
Well, I say Sevy Romo because he hits just absolute bombs during BP, and the players were saying, you should be in the Derby because he just hits it so hard and out. Well, that's a good lineup for the Miners. 0-1 pitch is swung on by Rogers, ground ball up the middle. That's a 2-out base hit for the Tennessee Volunteer.
Now by number 26, Terrence Connell.
At the plate, Terrence Conley. First pitch is called strike, just catches that outside part of the plate. Oh, 1 pitch. Swung on and lined into center field. Rogers tags second, decides to hold up, and Conley moving the base runners.
Excellent piece of hitting by Terrence Connolly. For the most part, we see him go right up the middle, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially how Hurst was playing in center. Not deep, but not shallow. Just about in the middle of that outfield, and that's good enough to get Rogers up to second.
Brings up Matthew Decker. First pitch to Decker called ball 1. Decker 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Swung on ground ball to the shortstop, Cody Nolf. Scoops it up, throw to first. And that is the 3rd out of the inning with a 6-3 putout. No run score on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on as we head to the top of the 6th. The Miners and Panners tied at 1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
New pitcher on for the Miners. It's the lefty out of Incarnate Word, Matthew Decker. He will face Brandon Caruso, Scott Hurst, and Cody Nolf. First pitch from Decker. Fastball. Gets the called strike, a little low and away. Decker out of Hickory Creek, Texas.
That is in the Dallas area.
Got it. 0-1. Fastball, hard grounder, left side, scooped by Connolly. And fires a high strike to first. One away. Brings up Scott Hurst, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2. Matthew Decker is 0-1 with an 8.64 ERA. Last pitched on July 12th against the Chinooks. One hitless, scoreless inning. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out. 3 up, 3 down. Here's the first pitch to Hurst. A fastball. Gets the inner half for a called strike. 0-1. Decker's pitched 8 1/3 innings. He's walked 6. He's struck out 6. He's given up 8 hits. 0-1 to Hurst. Off speed. Called strike. Late call from the home plate umpire. That was waist high, and it's 2-2. Hurst grounded out to second in the 3rd inning. 0-2 pitch. Fastball low and away. Scooped by Mitchell. Now took him out of the crouch. 1-2. One and two on Hurst. Decker sets, kicks. 1-2. Check swing, low and away. 2-2. Outfield is straight away. Center fielder Loker is a couple steps, just about maybe in shallow center. 2-2. Fastball outside. 3-2. Looked pretty good.
Scott Hurst, a high school senior with a 500 average in the Alaska Baseball League. Outstanding.
3-2. Fastball, hard chopper, right side. Blazer tries to go with the backhand, and it hops over his glove. And I have to see if that's a hit or an error. He had to go a long way for it and took a tough hop. I think that might be a hit. We'll have to wait. No official scoring. And it's only a 7-inning game, so doesn't really matter. But, you know, it's always good to know.
I think Blazer just looked back at the scoreboard to see if it was an error or not.
Hasn't been ruled yet. Here's Cody Nolf, first pitch. Fastball, a little low for ball 1. I think we're both just looking at that. That has been ruled a hit. We're both looking at that hit and then the error column, I think. 1-0 to Nolf. Fastball high, ball 2. That is just the first hit for the Panners. And we are in the top of the 6th.
I don't know. I think that they might be tired. You know, it's very uncharacteristic of this team.
2-0 pitch. Hard chopper back to Decker, scoops it, throws a strike to Connolly at second for 1. On to first, a double play. 1-6-3. Excellent snag by the pitcher, Matthew Decker. And we are still tied at 1. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Tie score here at Mulcahy on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Hunter Simmons leads off for the Miners. He hits the new pitcher, Torgen Soderlin. Tie game here in the bottom of the 6th, 1-1. Simmons with that open stance. First pitch. Breaking ball in there, called strike. Simmons 0 for 2. Torgen Soderlin out of Gateway Community College. He's 6'1", 180. He's a local boy from Fairbanks, Alaska. 0-1. Fastball, called strike, outer half. 0-2 on Simmons out of Utah. Along with teammate Hunter Rodriguez working in the bullpen. Soderlin, 6'1", 185 pounds. He sets, and here's his 0-2. Hard grounder back to him. He loses it. He has it. He's on his bum and throws to first.
Did you bring that back from London?
I did, yeah. He throws to first, and now there's one away. Thought I'd give you a little laugh there.
I just did not expect that.
No, but I mix it up a little bit. Here is Johnny Loker now with one away. Catcher Whelan out to talk with Soderlin. How else do you describe that, though? He's not on his
Sitting?
back.
No, he's sitting.
Well, he's not really sitting. It's more like he fell down and was on his bum.
Alrighty.
First pitch fastball outside, 1-0 on Loker. Loker doubled in the 4th. Drove in Terrence Connolly, the only run for the Miners. We're tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 pitch. Fastball low, ball 2, 2-0. Outfield straightaway, Soderlin sets. Pitch. Lifted right side. Pinkston gives chase along with Mildenberg and in foul territory. And out of play, Loker coming back. 2-1 on Johnny. No post-game show at the conclusion of this one. Be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock start against the Bucks. Again, just a 7-inning game here this afternoon, 7-inning game tomorrow. 2-1 to Loker. Fastball called strike, 2-2. If you don't already, follow us on Twitter, ABL Miners. That is the handle. 2-2. Line into center, and it falls in front of Scott Hurst, and it takes a tough bounce on him. Loker with a wide turn at first, and he goes back, but it's a one-out single for Johnny Loker. He's 2 for 3. Brings up Brandon Smith. He's got a hit of his own in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the 4th. Smith out of Grand Canyon. One away, Loker on first in a tie game. Pitch from Soderlin is off speed and in there, called strike. All-Star game is on Sunday, along with the Home Run Derby. Decker, Newell, and Frost in the Derby. Runner at first is it off. Slap foul right side. 0-2 on Smith. Seeing a lot of guys take off to try to get those stolen bases. That's, I think, part of the Scout Showcase. They want to see their stolen base ability, maybe even for guys with a little bit of speed or a lot of speed. And Loker's got a fair amount of it.
Yeah, you know, saw a lot of scouts with those stopwatches around their necks.
0-2. Fastball high, 1-2. Brandon Smith with a high Sox this afternoon. Pinwheels the bat. Soderlin with a check on first. Loker back. Tie game, 1-1 to the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 on Smith. Loker on first with a single to center. 1-2. Lined into center, charging is Hurst, and that falls in front of him and takes another tough hop, and it goes behind him. Loker heads to third, and another single for Brandon Smith.
And that bounce in front of Hurst then kind of took a jump over his head, and Hurst lost it. He kind of spun around looking, trying to find that ball, and plenty of time for Loker to move to third.
And now here's Nick Blazer with an excellent chance to put the Miners ahead in this one. It's a tie game with now runners at the corners. Loker on third, Smith on first, but Blazer is 0 for 2. Points the bat. First pitch coming from Soderlund. Fastball called strike, right over the heart of the plate. 0-1 on Blazer. Blazer grounded out to second in the fourth, back to the pitcher in the second. Outfield is straight away. Beautiful day here in Anchorage. 0-1. Fastball again. That's a called strike. 0-2 on Nick Blazer out of Cal State Northridge. Nine hits for the Miners, just 1 for the Panners. Quick snap throw over to first, and Smith is back. Still 0-2 on Blazer, though, with 1 out. Hunter Simmons grounded back to the pitcher, Soderlund, to start the inning. Johnny Loker singled to center. Smith did the same. Blazer working with an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball. That's called strike 3. 3 pitches, all strikes, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Nick Blazer. First strikeout for Soderlund. And now there's 2 down.
Now batting number 30, Mitchell Now.
And that brings up Mitchell now, 1 for 2. Grounded out to short in the 5th, singled in the 3rd. He was caught stealing. Open stance for Mitchell now. First pitch, fastball. Called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Soderlund works quickly. Looks into the catcher Whelan for the sign. He has it. Smith on first. He's off. Pitch. Slapped just to our right. And foul, 0-2. Smith heading back to first. And we talked about this briefly in the pregame show, that this game is almost like a glimpse, perhaps, of the top of the World Series. Both these teams with an excellent chance to make it. And right now in the season series, tied at 1. 0-2. High fly ball to right, and that is Jacob Hayes who makes the catch on the line, and basket catch for out number 3. It's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We are through 6, tie game. We head to the 7th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 7th, and we are still tied at 1 run apiece. Matt Decker on the mound still for the Miners, and Vaughn Bazoian at the plate. First pitch is outside, called strike one. Bazillion 0 for 2 with ground out and a fly out. 0-1 pitch by Decker. A little bit low, balled one. One ball, one strike to Vaughn Bazillion, hitting .330, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 9 doubles. 1-1 pitch is lifted deep. Just foul. I think it hit the U-Haul truck over in the football field. You see how far away that is?
That's really deep. 325 down the line.
Vaughn Bazillion definitely has that power. 7 home runs. Could check to see. Oh, well, we don't have the
Scoring?
1-2 pitches outside. No, the home run derby participants for their league.
No.
We just have ours.
Yes.
I can, if I was, I bet he would be in it.
Oh, yeah.
7 home runs. 2-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. Conley backhands it, throw to first, 1 away.
I don't really think, of course, Newell and Frost lead the minors in home runs, but I don't really think I just don't think it's all about that. I really don't. I don't think it's about number. I think it's about power potential, like what you see in batting practice. Decker has 2, and Decker's pretty much been an everyday player.
That's why I said Sevy Romo, because he has that power during batting practice, but doesn't,
he doesn't
more of a
always,
pitcher.
He also doesn't take batting practice every day.
True. But when he does,
yeah, he puts on a show.
It's impressive.
And the ball was carrying here during batting practice. We haven't seen a home run yet.
1-0 pitch, ground ball to the second baseman Blazer, scoops it up, throw to first, quickly 2 away, in the top of the 7th.
Just a 7-inning game, so could be a tie.
The Miners, they believe it tied, be their second tie game this summer.
3-3 against the Monarchs. That was back in June. Seems like such a long time ago. Maybe it was.
At the plate, Jacob Hayes. Hayes scored the only run for the Painters thus far. Was walked by Josh Grissom. 1-0 pitch by Decker is high and inside. Ball 2.
We haven't had the John tonight.
No, I was hoping for it, but then Matt Decker.
Matthew.
John, Josh, and Matt. 2-0 pitch to Hayes is swung on off the mound. Conley charges, barehands it over the head of Hunter Simmons. That's out of play, but Hayes is able to stay on, move to second. That's going to be an E6. So it clearly just went right over the head of Hunter Simmons off the throw by Conley.
It's going to be ruled a single, and then to second, E6.
That brings up Mike Wheeland with the leading run at second base. Wheeland 0 for 2. The fly out and ground out, and Mitchell now and Terrence Conley out to talk things over with their pitcher, Matt Decker.
He's a tough kid.
He is. He's one of those, real kind of Texan boys. Has an accent. A lot of those Texan sayings. He's a Texan.
I am not.
No.
I am a city boy.
You are.
And proud of it.
Decker sets. First pitch a little low for ball 1 to Wheeland. Yeah, but you're proud of that, but there's nothing more proud than a Texan. Well, being Texan.
I win, okay? You should just leave it at that. I win.
At what? 1-0 pitch is lifted deep into left center field. Going back for it is Smith. At the wall, Hayes heads home, and Wheeland with the RBI double. The Panthers now lead 2-1.
Yeah, Smith, I don't think it was they didn't take the best route to the ball. I think the wind just kept carrying it, and it sort of tied them up a little bit.
It did, and it just hit that wall, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, Hunter Villanueva. Villanueva out of Fresno Pacific University. Yesterday was 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. First pitch a little outside. Ball 1.
2-1 Panners now in the top of the 7th.
With Wheeland at second. 1-0 pitch. Catches that outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Decker, the lefty, pitching to Villanueva, the right-handed batter. 1-1. Inside, ball 2. I did a pregame profile with Matt Decker. Both Deckers, both Matthew Deckers.
Didn't you do those interviews on the same day?
Yeah, one right after another. They're on our YouTube page. 2-1, ground ball to the third baseman. Rogers dives for it, makes a throw to first, and that is the third out. Just an outstanding play by the third baseman. That takes us to the bottom of the 7th, but the Painters score one run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. The Painters now lead 2-1. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. See Wonderlick, Rogers, and Conley here in the bottom of the 7th. The Painters lead 2-1, and we are only playing for 7 innings. Wonderlick at the plate has 2 flyouts to left field and right field. First pitch a little inside, but called strike 1. Wonderlick out of Brenham, Texas.
Home of Bluebell Ice Cream.
There it is. Yep, Austin's learning. Goes to Rice University. 0-1 pitch is outside, ball 1.
Which is in Houston.
Yes.
We should just switch roles. You can start talking about being from the Northeast and not liking the warm weather, and I could start talking about being from Texas and all that. How about that?
Yeah, I'd run out of things to say. 1-1 outside, ball 2.
I wouldn't.
I know, because Texas is great.
Because all you do is talk about it.
I know. I know Mitchell now is kind of missing Texas, and Dane Wonderlick also. 2-1. Inside. Strike 2.
When you say the words missing Texas, all I do is think about that song from SpongeBob where Sandy's singing about how she misses Texas.
Oh, yeah. There's a song, Come Back to Texas. That was about, 7th grade? Swung on and ground ball to the second baseman, Mildenberg. Throw to first. 4-3 put out. That's actually Villanueva in the game. Back to the top of the order with Jordan Rogers, 1 for 3. Fly out in the 6th, a ground out in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th. Rogers with 12 RBIs and 5 doubles. This has just been really doing great these past few games. Soderlund sets. First pitch inside, ball 1. Rogers hitting .269 out of the University of Tennessee. Tennessee is another really cool state. Have you ever been to Tennessee?
No.
I love Nashville. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball up high, ball 2.
Yeah, but isn't the University of Tennessee in Knoxville?
Yeah. And I've actually I went to the Tennessee-Mizzou game 2 years ago. It's the largest college stadium, I believe.
I thought that was at Michigan.
2-0, low and away, ball 3. Is it?
I think Michigan is for at least, are you talking about capacity?
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan has like 105,000.
I thought they had about 100,000. No, regardless, it is gigantic. 3-0 inside, called strike 1. But it's really cool because it's on a river and stuff, and so they tailgate on boats. It's really cool atmosphere.
Well, you know what the best college football stadium in the country is?
Well, it's not Syracuse.
Sure it is.
3-1, ground ball to the shortstop. Nolf throw to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th.
Have you ever been in the Carrier Dome?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. The only thing you're not missing out about is there's very little cell service in the bleachers.
Yeah, I heard that from Stubblefield said there's very little self-service on game days in College Station, and the same thing with Mizzou. I think it's just too many people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. First pitch to Conley is right over the plate, called strike.
There's not. I only had about an hour of cell service on the way back from Fairbanks, and that was probably the half hour after we left, or between when we left and then the half hour in, and then half hour before we got back to Palmer.
0-1 inside, ball 1. But you've never been to Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri.
I'm not interested.
And I had an Aggie. Actually, he was taking it all in, and he said he was impressed. An Aggie from Kyle Field, which Kyle Field is probably one of the top stadiums, and that's high for strike 2 to Conley, 1-2 count with 2 away.
But I did tell you that I almost went to Missouri. I think I've told you that a couple times.
Top journalism school in the country.
Nah, not quite.
Conley, lefty, the open stance, swung on right over the pitcher's mound, charging his Nolf to the shortstop, makes a throw to first, and that is 3 up, 3 down, 2 in the game. Final here in Anchorage, the Panners beat the Miners 2-1. That is game number 1 for the Scout Showcase. Game number 2 is tomorrow at 7 o'clock back here at Mulcahy. And no post-game show, so we'll just wrap it up real quick here. We will be back here at Mulcahy tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Again, the final score, the Panners beat the Miners 2-1. Be sure to tune in tomorrow about 6:45 for a quick pregame show and a 7 o'clock start. For Austin Pollock, I'm Emma Tiedemann. And again, the final 2-1. Until tomorrow, so long, everybody.